thought that I would come across your timeline today from one of my favorite places. Absolutely gorgeous walk that I like to go out with my dog and get some solitude, have the opportunity to enjoy this beautiful world we exist in, do some collective messages. Didn't bring my cards with me. I don't feel like I need them. On the way here, I was thinking very much about a situation where you have been underestimated by someone. This person left your life in this very pompous way. I'll show them. They're never going to get anywhere. They're never going to accomplish their goals. They lost me. But it was really their ego that was in the way. They had underestimated you so greatly. They were afraid of the mirror that you held up in front of them. You challenged them in a way that they'd never been challenged before. And now with this full moon, they are contemplating how they had drastically misjudged the situation, that they had allowed their own fears and insecurities to make them turn and run rather than challenge them to do better. So the question really lies now in, is this somebody that you want to allow back into your life? And you're going to have to feel this out on your own. I'm getting that some of you may have given this person multiple opportunities, and this is more an advantage for them than it is something that you feel like you want to involve yourself in again. But for others, this is an awakening of that experience that you had been expecting, that you thought that that was what it was supposed to be the first time, and it hadn't played out that way. So just feel like you're going to have to feel this out. Does it feel genuine? Does it feel balanced? Does it feel mutual? Or does it feel like you're going round and round? Maybe you'll have to give it a chance and see what happens, and let spirit guide you. Getting some messages for those who have been attempting to get back on their own personal game. There was some neglect that had taken place of your own personal needs, that you had allowed the situation to dominate your spirit and broke you a little bit. And it took you a while to reclaim that energy and that power for yourself. But now that you've gotten back on track, and you're feeling so much more powerful and so much more in control. You're back on your health goals, both mental and physical. Really starting to feel confident in a way that you've never felt confident before in your own skin. And getting in your own skin. Some beautiful waterfowl coming up here. Feeling beautiful in your own skin. That's really the goal that you were seeking in the first place. And you were looking for outside validation, and you had gotten this temporary validation from this person, or possibly even a small group of people. But that validation was very much an intermediate phase. It was it helped you bring awareness, but then you realized that it wasn't necessarily authentic from the source it was coming from. But then when they tried to take it away this time, it was different. It was like, no, all you did was wake me up to who I am. And now I feel very confident about that. I feel really good about who I am. So I'm not going to let you take that away from me. So you walked away from that, and you've been back on your game. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be prioritizing yourself, focusing on your goals. I'm getting a big goal that you're supposed to be focusing in on. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the next video. I'm getting a lot about these goals and dreams and how we're supposed to be embarking upon them. So while I'm out here getting some beautiful sunshine and fresh air and enjoying the scenery with my friends, the geese, they're grunting at my dog. So I'm getting this message from Spirit that there is something that you've kind of held on to when you were younger, maybe even as a child. You really saw yourself potentially living this different life. And things happened and you went in a different direction. But you went in a direction not that you weren't supposed to, it was in a direction that gave you an opportunity to explore a different side of life. It gave you some lessons and some confidence and some understanding of who you are. And the intention of this I'm getting is that so you'd never look back. So you never question. You're always going forward. It's like I already did that. I've already been down that road. And yeah, it's not for me. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it. For other people, that's exactly what they wanted and what they needed, and it makes them happy. But you're just not feeling the same way about that as you used to, or at least as you thought you used to. Maybe you never really felt that way. Maybe it was just how you felt in the moment, and you got caught up in the energy, and it was exciting, and it was fun, and it was new. You were learning. I'm getting that you were learning a lot of skills that you're taking forward with you, but you're applying them in a different way. So you're applying, and it's where that vulture card comes in. The nothing is wasted. I love that card. It's this idea that as much as we might want to think that we have taken too long to get from point A to point B, or we were on our way to point B and then we diverted and went to point C instead. There's an intention in that. There's a purpose for that. There's always something to be gained and taken from that journey. So it's never a wasted journey. There's everything that you need in the accumulation and the layers of your experiences. So you can go forward confidently and you don't need to look back. Just trust what you're feeling and head towards what makes you feel good, what makes you feel fulfilled, what gives you purpose. That's where you're supposed to be. Much love to you. I hope to see you next time.